Today I'm going to be making some dehydrated apples and some apple cider vinegar from the leftover cores of these apples. It is apple season here in Virginia, and we have lots and lots of apples available. And I want to try and learn how to preserve some of our food, and dehydrating them seems like a great option for certain things like apples. Full disclaimer, I was given this dehydrator for free from the company to try it out and see how I liked it. So I will let you know if I think it is worth the purchase by the end of the video. I have been wanting to buy a dehydrator, and so I'm so excited that I had the opportunity to try this out. As a lot of you know, we are living off grid and we do not have the electricity to power a dehydrator right now. We just have a little battery pack, but we are currently experiencing a tropical storm. We are under a high wind warning and a flood warning, a flash flood warning. So we are taking the opportunity to stay with some friends during the storm, so we don't have to stay in our camper up on a hill in the mountains around all the trees with these winds. So it's the perfect opportunity to test out the dehydrator with somebody else's electricity and get some dehydrated apples out of it for all of us. This is everything I'm going to be using for the apples. I will go through the whole process and show you how I'm doing it. This dehydrator comes with this little cookbook, and it has all sorts of recipes for dehydrating just about everything, and recipes for making like fruit strips and all of that stuff. These nuts look really good, these spicy cashews. And it comes with an instruction manual, a bunch of different trays for dehydrating different types of items. This is a fruit roll-up tray, so you can make your own fruit roll-ups. So this is the dehydrator, and it's got a bunch of different trays in there, a drip tray. I just took it out of the box this morning, and I did wipe it down with a towel and let it turn on for about 30 minutes to let it completely dry and clean itself. So it is ready to go. The first thing I'm going to do is just wash the apples off in some vinegar water. I'm going to let them soak for a few minutes and then kind of scrub them just a bit. I am also going to make some lemon water to soak the apples in after I cut them. It'll help them from getting brown. So I just have some warm water here, and I'm just going to sprinkle some lemon in there. So I am going to peel these apples because they have wax on them. I was going to go to an apple orchard and get them from a local farmer and everything, but we are kind of, in the middle of it's a little rainy outside, so I'm not able to do that. So I ended up just going to the store and getting some apples that unfortunately are not local and have wax on them. So I will be peeling them, but you don't have to. If you have unwaxed apples and you clean them well, you can leave the peel on them. And then I'm just going to slice these into 1/4-inch strips. They need to soak in this water for about 5 minutes. I'm going to be able to fit a lot of apples on here. And this was 2 apples that I cut up. And there are a total of 6 trays. So, man, I'm going to have a lot of room. I'm going to make sure that nothing's overlapping, just so that it is able to get dry all the way. Probably just not touching either, just so that the air can get flow all around with the apples. Okay, I gotta go cut up another apple. I am going to be saving all of these apple cores from the apples today because we're going to use these to make some homemade apple cider vinegar. If you had like organic unwaxed apple peels, you can use the peel for the apple cider vinegar too, but I am just going to compost these because I don't really trust them and I don't want them in my vinegar. I'm just going to be using the cores today. Okay, so this tray's ready, and I'm just going to go ahead and stick it in the dehydrator while I do the rest of them. You know, it's kind of funny because we lived in Florida for a few years, and I thought that when we left Florida that we were leaving the tropical storms, but this is our second tropical storm we've had this year, and we're like literally 5 hours from the beach. Like we're not even near the coast. And twice this year, I'm not going to put those in yet because I want those to soak for 5 minutes. So I guess you can only run so far from the tropical storms. I just didn't ever realize when we lived in Knoxville, I feel like we didn't have tropical storms like this, but Knoxville is getting slammed too. They're actually getting hit way worse than we are and have way more flooding. And, you know, Knoxville's where our family is. So we also have family in Florida, but they're on the Atlantic coast. So they're getting less of the storm than we are in Virginia. It's just really weird the way that the storm system has been moving this year. Or maybe it's always like this and I just wasn't aware of it. So I am going to try to put some cinnamon on some of these apples because, you know, cinnamon's pretty cool. And see how that works out. Here we go. Those are all my apples. I think I had 10 to 12. I can't remember. I have 2 trays left, so I think I'm going to cut up some bananas. We have some bananas here and see how that does. I might as well not waste time and go ahead and cut some other stuff up. So you can put a variety of different types of fruit and vegetables as long as they cook at the same temperature. You can just do a whole bunch of stuff at the same time. Okay, so this little book says to do apples and bananas at 135, 145 degrees. Apples are 6 to 7 hours, bananas are 7 to 8 hours. So we'll, start checking them at 6 hours, I guess. I'm gonna put my last tray in there. I ended up doing 6 bananas, I think. Those are my bananas, cinnamon apples, regular apples. I gotta plug it in. That would be helpful. Thought it'd be real funny if I came here to use electricity and the power went out because of this storm. Well, I gotta use my other hand. I'm gonna do temperature. Turn that down to, I think it's 140. For how many? Let's start at 6 hours. Checking. Start. So it's really not very loud at all. It's just a very, very, very quiet hum. And we will be back. Okay, next we're gonna make apple cider vinegar with these leftover apple cores. I'm just gonna put them all in this jar. Next, I'm just gonna take warm water and some sugar. It's about 1 tablespoon of sugar per 1 cup of water. And then I'm just gonna stir this sugar up until it is dissolved. Then I'm just gonna cover it with an old cloth. This is just an old t-shirt from my toddler that no longer fits. Put this in a warm, dark place for 2 to 4 weeks. So the 6 hours is up, but I don't really think these are done yet. They're still pretty soft, so I'm gonna put them in there for another hour. Okay, I think these are done now. They need to cool completely before we put them up. So I'm just gonna leave this door open and let them kind of cool in here for a little bit. Also wanted to show you that the weather is much better and the sun is now trying to come out. Go get it. So I definitely recommend the food dehydrator. I think that it is a great investment. It isn't that expensive. It was only $159 on their website. And then I will leave a link below if you're interested in it. The company did send me a special coupon code if you purchase it through my link. And that code is WILD10 and you get 10% off. You can also dehydrate herbs with this. Dehydrating is a great way to save money because you can get produce that is in season and buy it up when it's real cheap. Like right now, apples are really cheap, and you can just stock up on whatever is on sale at the time and preserve it in some way, dehydrating being one of those great ways to preserve stuff. Now that these are completely cool, I am just going to transfer them over to a mason jar. These will stay good for several weeks, just like this. If you want them to last longer, you will need to remove the air and like vacuum seal them. I don't have a way to do that, so we're just going to eat these up over the next few weeks and they should be good. Do you want to help? Oh, we have a helper. Do you want to put some of these in here? You want to grab one and put it in there? Good job. Keep going. Let's fill this jar up. We can use these to put in oatmeal or pancakes or muffins, or we can just snack on them just like they are. You want to eat that one? You want to eat one? Here, you want to eat it? You can eat it. Do you like it? It's an apple. How do you feel about that apple? We have, ignore the dirty feet on the counter. Now we are just going to cover them with, this is again, Falcon's old t-shirt. And we are just going to store those in a cool place and use them over the next few weeks. You want to eat a banana? Don't, you're going to fall off the back of the counter.
Yeah.
Banana. So I should have dunked the bananas in the lemon water also, but I didn't. So they're a little brown, but they're still tasty, right? You like your banana? Falcon's a banana kid. I almost think these can go in there for a little bit longer. I decided to put the bananas back in there for another hour or so. They were just kind of sticking to the trays, and I just don't think that they're done yet. I'm not really sure how to tell when they are done, to be honest with you. This is new experience for me, but I feel like they still feel moist. And then these ones are the cinnamon apples. They're good. I like the cinnamon ones better. I also bet these would be good if you took some honey, like a honey cinnamon mix, and dipped these in that before they dehydrated them. I bet they would be like extra sweet and dessert-like. So I'll probably snack on the cinnamon ones. These will probably be my snack. And I will probably use the plain ones to bake some. There you go.